Hello and welcome to the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. Here to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. The 2017 NBA Finals is in the books, and now it's time for rumors, man. The NBA offseason is already getting underway. It's the beautiful thing about the NBA. Right after the NBA Finals, you get the NBA Draft, and then you get NBA Free Agency. Then you get Summer League, and then you get nothing for about 3 months. So it's kind of messed up. It kind of works, but we're going to roll with it. So Cleveland Cavaliers trade rumors. Now, I put these air quotes because the fact of the matter is none of these rumors are actually legitimate. We are literally having ESPN trade machine discussions because the Indiana Pacers, the Chicago Bulls, and the New York Knicks have not picked up the phone and called the Cleveland Cavaliers as far as we know, right? We haven't heard Brian Windhorst or Ramona Shelburne or Adrian Wojnarowski come out and say, oh yeah, they're in trade talks. No, we're literally just looking at players and saying, okay, who can the Cavs get? But with that said, let's start that conversation. So let's start by talking about the possibility of the Cavs trading for Carmelo Anthony, because this is the one that I want to eradicate right now. So, can we please just come to a consensus, people? I've been preaching from the rooftop about this, but no one will actually listen to me. Why did the Cleveland Cavaliers lose the 2017 NBA Finals? It wasn't because Kevin Love didn't do enough. It wasn't because, I'm talking about offensively. It wasn't because Richard Jefferson do enough offensively. It wasn't because J.R. Smith didn't do enough offensively. No, the Cavs scored 120 points in Game 5. They lost. The Cavs scored 113 points in Game 3. They lost. The Cavs scored, I don't know how many points, but it was a lot in Game 2. And they lost. The problem is, they allowed 129 in Game 5 against the Warriors. They allowed 118 against the Warriors in Game 3. They allowed over 120. I think it was exactly 120 in Game 2 against the Golden State Warriors. They're allowing too many points. Their defense is not good enough. It's not championship worthy, but they can score points. LeBron will get you 30 a game. Kyrie will average 30 a game. He'll have his bad games, but he'll still, during his bad games, even get 20, and then during his great games, get 40. And then all you have to do is just find another 30 points somewhere. Offense is not the problem. Defense is. And one of the components of defense is rebounding. Kevin Love is a fantastic rebounder, and plus, I think he's just overall a very good player. We are forgetting about how good Kevin Love is, so let me remind you. For the Minnesota Timberwolves, the year before he joined the Cleveland Cavaliers, Kevin Love averaged 26 and 12. 26 and 12. If he averaged that today, he'd have the best power forward statistics in the league, right behind Anthony Davis. Okay, right behind Anthony Davis. That boy's really good. Still, it's within him. The problem is when he went to the Cavs, they asked him to play the role of Shane Battier. I mean, that's really the role that he plays. He takes charges. He takes stupid threes. He just stands out of the corner all day long. When really what you want him to do, to me at least, you want him to get down in the post. Okay, let him do some post game. Let him do some face-up game. Let him do some back to the basket and let him go to work. They don't want to run him like that. They don't want to play him like that. They want to play like the Golden State Warriors. Everyone on the three-point line, ball moving, and it works to a certain extent, but Kevin Love isn't a great fit for that. So, okay, fine. I understand why you want to trade Kevin Love. But then trading for Carmelo Anthony, man, don't do it, please. First of all, Kevin Love's better than Carmelo Anthony right now to me. I think that's just the case. We are romanticizing Carmelo Anthony because we look back at the old Melo and we think that guy still exists because for some reason we're not watching the Melo of now. Well, it's for a couple reasons. Number one, the Knicks aren't very good. There's no reason to watch them. And number two, Well, no, that's pretty much it. So we don't watch Carmelo Anthony anymore. So because of that, we're still romanticizing him and thinking that he's pretty damn good. No, that boy's declining. He averaged 22-6 this season, shot about 43% for a 6'8" small forward, power forward. That's not good. Okay, he shot a worse 3-point percentage than Kevin Love, got less rebounds per game. Points was higher only because he shot the ball more. Put Kevin Love in New York, that boy's going to average 24, 25, maybe even 26 again. Kevin Love's a better player. And then also, can we consider age? Carmelo Anthony, 33 years old, going to be 34 before the 2018 NBA Finals. Kevin Love, 28. Okay, he's maxed out. He won't get better, but Melo is declining. And can you just consider, Cavs fans, if you're truly a Cleveland Cavalier fan, which a lot of you guys actually aren't, you're just LeBron James fans, but whatever. If you view the long-term potential of your team, LeBron's going to leave. Okay, I think this is almost definite at this point. I think he's gone in 2018. Do you really want to be stuck with Kyrie and Melo? Because you ain't going to the playoffs. But you'll still be good enough to only have the 13th or 14th pick in the draft. You'll be in the lottery, but you'll be low in the lottery. You won't be good enough to get a top 5 pick, most likely, to me at least. So you won't truly stink. Whereas if you kept Kevin Love, LeBron leaves, you'll have Kyrie, Kevin Love, and then to me, that's still a playoff team in the East. I think that's a playoff team in the East, because also when you consider that Melo-Kyrie duo, that would be when Melo is 34, 35, 36. Okay, that is not an attractive duo. But Kyrie and Kevin Love, that's a duo that I can see doing something, as Kevin Love only goes to 28, 29, 30, 31. And Kyrie, by the way, this guy's game is really ascending. This guy's becoming really good. He averaged 25 points per game this year with Kevin Love and LeBron James on his team. If he's on his own again, he's going to average 28 to me, maybe even more. So I love that. So Carmelo Anthony doesn't make sense to me. He's more of an isolation scorer anyway. Just to me, the age factor, the decline factor, the fact that I don't think he's better than Kevin Love anyway, just stay away from Carmelo Anthony, who couldn't win this year with Kristaps Porzingis and Derrick Rose, who Derrick Rose isn't great anymore, but he's still decent. Couldn't win. Forget about Carmelo Anthony. All right, Paul George. Now, this is the interesting thing with this discussion. Do we know for a fact, people, do we know that the Indiana Pacers are willing to do this deal? I know LeBron James is a hell of a GM, and he's the true GM of this Cavs team. But if the other team does not want to trade, you can't do anything about that. And the thing that allowed the Kevin Love trade to go down when Kevin Love got traded to the Cavaliers was that the Cavs had young talent. The Cavs had the #1 pick, Andrew Wiggins, and they also had Anthony Bennett. Whenever teams trade their really good players, they're looking for young talent and or draft picks, because whenever they trade these guys, it's because they want to rebuild. They want to reload. They want to start over. Okay, they don't want to get a guy of the same level or slightly below, and Kevin Love would be, unless if perhaps they have a plan, like perhaps their plan is to get Kevin Love, pair him with Miles Turner, and then maybe go sign a point guard or something. That's possible, but we're not even sure if the Indiana Pacers wanted to even do this deal. They would even entertain this deal, so that's a stretch to say. But let's assume that they are. I would really like this move. I would caution people a little bit though, because although I like it because Paul George would add defense to this team, which again is why they lost, improve your defense. Okay, good. I like that. Again, Kevin Love went from being a 26-12 guy to being a 16 and about 10 guy his first year in Cleveland, and then his last year 19-11. Okay, so Paul George is going to take a dip. Most likely. So he's going to go from now this year 23 and like 6. He could go down to Kevin Love's numbers, or even a little bit worse. He could average maybe 19-6, maybe 18-6, and you'll be like, is this guy truly better? But I think he would be, because again, he adds that defensive aspect to your team. So I buy that aspect of it. I like that aspect of it, but I also caution you here. He's not as good as a rebounder as Kevin Love. There is a defensive attribute or a connection between rebounding and defense. And Kevin Durant, who would be matched up against Paul George in a lot of scenarios, is going to get rebounds over Paul George. And now you have the Warriors getting more offensive rebounds, more defensive rebounds, and that to me could also widen the gap. So I like it, but don't think that's the answer. Don't think, okay, they got Paul George, that's it, it's over. No, Paul George, Kyrie, and LeBron to me is not good enough to beat the Golden State Warriors. Now, the last one, Jimmy Butler. Again, I would like this. In fact, I would like this one the most because to me, you could bring him in. He plays the 2. Okay, you still have LeBron at the 3. You have Kyrie at the 1. I'd like that combination right there, that 1-2-3 punch. He is really good defensively. I think he's better than Paul George defensively. His three-point game has been getting better. It's been improving. He's a bit of a clown, okay, more of a clown than Paul George would be, but he's a better defender. I think he would add the most impact. But then would the Chicago Bulls be willing to make that move? I don't know. Again, whenever these teams like the Bulls especially are looking to move on from these star players, it's because they want young guys. Especially the Bulls, because the Bulls, they just want to rebuild, right? They just want to tear everything down and just start over. Why? I don't really know. To me, I mean, that's fine, but keep Jimmy Butler, right? That should be your first piece. If the Lakers draft, let's say, Josh Jackson or whoever drafts Josh Jackson, they're hoping that he becomes Jimmy Butler. You already have Jimmy Butler. So why are you trying to trade Jimmy Butler for a draft pick when you could already have Jimmy Butler, who could be better and probably will be better, honestly, than any draft pick? Like, you already know what you're getting, but whatever. That's another story for another day. Bulls are idiots. So with that said, I like that potential move the most. But what I want to leave this video with is this. To me, this is probably what I do the most, just in case all those teams say no, no, no. Add defense to this team. I know it's not flashy, but I'm calling the following names who are upcoming free agents: Tony Allen, Andre Robertson, Luke Richard, Mbamute, and Zebo, Zach Randolph. I'm calling these guys. Yes, they're boring. None of them excite you. The one that excites you the most may be Zebo, and he's fine coming off the bench. He came off the bench this year for Memphis. These guys would add defense to your team. Zebo isn't a great defender, but he has veteran presence. And Tony Allen, Luke Richard, Andre Robertson, all very good perimeter defenders. I think, I have to check again, I think Thabo Sefolosha may be available as well, maybe Al-Farouq Aminu. You got to get boring. You got to call these wing defenders. I want to replace J.R. Smith with a defensive shooting guard. It was ridiculous how bad the Cavs defense was this season. Tristan Thompson is fine. Kevin Love, I'd like to improve there, but if we can't, okay, we'll hold on to him. LeBron, same thing. But LeBron, he needs to step up defensively. But I look at that 2 position, that J.R. Smith position, and I say we got to get a defensive guy there. I want Tony Allen. I want Andre Robertson. I want someone boring. I want someone to come in and play defense. That's the key. I don't want Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade is old. He used to be a great defender. No more. I want someone boring. I want someone lame. I want someone to come in and play defense. That's the key to me. That probably won't get you all the way there, but it can get you a lot closer than you are. Okay? And then, again, I look for Tony Allen and Zebo. That's what I would do. I'd get Tony Allen, bring Zebo off the bench, and you wouldn't look as good as the Cavs on paper, but once the ball tips up in the air and the finals are off, assuming you get there again, it wouldn't shock me if you pulled off the upset with those guys. I think those guys would add a lot more than people would expect. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the Cleveland Cavaliers, what they should do after the 2017 NBA Finals. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been the MJ Take on Sports Fan Entertainment. And I'm out. Peace.